Right now, Local 3 News begins with your forecast first.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Tom Kippen. As we look at our current temperatures, colder air is starting to move into upper Michigan from the north and west, where we do have temperatures dropping into the 20s across the western UP. We also have some snow moving on through, especially from Marquette back to Baraga and into the Keweenaw Peninsula. We'll keep some snow showers around tonight along with some gusty winds, but they start to become few and far between by tomorrow morning. And then we're all back to the sunshine by tomorrow afternoon. From Storm Team 3, that's your forecast first. Local 3 News at 6 starts right now.
Tonight on Local 3 News, who was arraigned in the death of a 74-year-old man from the Upper Peninsula? And how one UP school district is addressing the topic of nicknames. Plus, where in the UP you can see a performance of The Little Mermaid. Those stories and more tonight on Local 3 News.
From WJMN-TV, Marquette, Escanaba, this is Local 3 News at 6.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for Local 3 News. I'm James Fillmore. We now know the name of the man arrested in a Menominee County homicide investigation. Gary Phillips Donovan was arraigned. He was arrested in connection to the killing of 74-year-old Michael Donovan of Menominee County. Troopers from the Michigan State Police Gladstone Post were called to a home around 12:30 Tuesday afternoon in Harris Township. Meanwhile, a home in Gwinn was destroyed by a fire. It happened this morning on Johnson Lake Road. Police on the scene said a husband and wife were home at the time and did make it out safely. Officials say the fire started in the rear of the home and was reported by someone who saw smoke and flames. A new committee is researching whether or not Marquette Senior High School should change their school's nickname. Rebecca Bartolome spoke with the chairman of the committee to see how it works. Rebecca?
Marquette Area Public Schools Superintendent Bill Saunders asked members of the community to form the MSHS Nickname Research Committee. Saunders and the MAPS Board of Education are asking these people to research 3 questions connected to the use of the school's nickname, the Redmen and the Redettes.
To see if they're in any way creating an adverse learning environment for children, students at the high school, if the nicknames are still a source or have a sense of pride for all students, and if the nicknames are culturally insensitive. And so our job is to look for evidence around those 3 questions.
Lubig, the chairman of the committee, is a former Marquette Area Public Schools teacher and served on their Board of Education in the past. Members of the community have been invited to provide input on these questions through an email account set up called nicknameresearch@mapsnet.org.
We're getting responses, and the committee wanted to make sure that we could provide a point of access for folks. Our charge is to collect evidence. So if somebody agrees or disagrees with any or all of those questions, we wanted to know the evidence they used to make that statement. And as you can imagine, we're getting some opinion statements through email, and we're also getting answers to the questions with evidence provided, and that's really helpful to us.
About 10 years ago, the school's logo changed from a Native American head to the letter M. Lubig says that was done with no pushback.
This is an interesting thing with Marquette schools, is every elementary school, the middle school, the alternative high school, and the high school all have a separate logo, a mascot, and nickname. So there isn't a consistent nickname across the district, which some of our committee members have brought up, and really those folks on the committee who are involved with athletics, is there's no real rallying point.
Lubig says something like this might spark conversations in other UP communities who have schools with controversial nicknames and mascots.
We're in the business of education, and that means discussing controversial issues and coming to some shared agreement as to how we're going to move forward around how our schools are run, how they look, how they're named, how they're resourced. I work a lot with the superintendents in the Upper Peninsula and teachers and students, and everybody goes about their day and what they're trying to do every day with great intention, right? And it's bringing things forward that are troublesome to large groups, small groups, those are difficult conversations. But every one of our schools is set up to have those conversations. And then their elected school boards are all willing to do the same thing, right? And it's just part of how we function in a democratic society.
People have until November 26 to submit their responses on the issue.
So Rebecca, what's the plan after the submission deadline?
So they'll be looking at all of the responses, and based on that information, they will make a recommendation to the Board of Education at their meeting on December 16th. Now, I also reached out to the school for comment, and they said that they do not wish to be answering any questions on the issue at this time.
Okay, Rebecca, thank you very much for that. Negaunee High School brings a Disney classic to the stage. The Little Mermaid the Musical is tonight and through the weekend at 7 p.m. Plus, there's a 3 p.m. show on Saturday. There are more than 90 members on the cast and crew, but we'll take you behind the curtain for a personal look at one of the characters who took on a legendary role.
When I got this role, I was really excited, and it has helped me come out of my shell in acting and do something different to the point where I am basically singing as like vocals of like a lady, and it's just been like an eye-opener in my life and has gotten me to do so many other things that I would never think I would do before.
You'll hear more of Dawson's story tonight on Local 3 News at 11. Still ahead on Local 3 News, our special report. What words you might be pronouncing incorrectly.
And temperatures are starting to drop, especially as you head west of Marquette, where temperatures are already dropping into the 20s. It's going to be a colder night and a chillier day for Friday, but at least we get the sun back. And it does hold into the weekend for a little bit, that sunshine. Details next.
You're watching Local 3 News at 6 with James Fillmore. Storm Team 3 weather with Tom Kippen. Sponsored by Shunk Furniture of Marquette.
And this colder air continues to move into upper Michigan. We're seeing the rain showers that were in here this morning out of here, but they're also switching over to some snow showers. As we look at our Local 3 radar network here, you can see we do have some snow moving on through the UP, and the heavier burst of snow, mind you, this is not going to add up too much tonight, is west of Marquette here into Baraga County from Covington towards Alberta and then into L'Anse and Baraga, and then you can see this darker blue is starting to head into Marquette County. So the roads might be a little snow covered and ice up a little bit, so just be careful out there, but we're really not expecting much in the way of heavy snowfall tonight where you're really going to have to shovel out tomorrow morning. We're not expecting that. Winter weather advisory for another hour or so out in the western UP and Keweenaw Peninsula, and with a driving north to northwest wind for tonight, we do have a lakeshore flood advisory that is in effect, and the high waves could cause some lakeshore flooding and maybe some minor beach erosion for the Lake Superior shoreline in Alger and Luce counties. As we look at what's ahead here, we're looking for some snow showers and also the wind to continue tonight. Some snow showers may linger on into the daytime on Friday in the morning in the east. Otherwise, we do get some sunshine back, and I think we all eventually do see some sunshine for Friday. Gusty winds, though, are back for Friday night, and they may continue on into Saturday. Saturday, once again, we get the sunshine, but the cloud cover, light rain, and light snow is in the forecast for Sunday. Let's just roll through this pretty quickly just to show you we're not looking at much in the way of additional snowfall accumulation. Maybe a lucky spot or two gets an inch or two as we head into late tonight into tomorrow morning. So here's our snow through this evening and into part of the overnight, but it starts to become few and far between by tomorrow morning, but it could still hang on across the eastern UP. And then as we go into Friday afternoon, look at this, the sunshine is back, and then for Friday night, maybe some clouds, but this is when we'll be dealing with the gusty winds once again. Saturday, we're dealing with sunshine once again. That's pretty good, but then Saturday night, I think more cloud cover does begin to move on in. Here's the wind gust forecast, mainly out of the north to northwest and eventually northwest tonight, maybe gusting over 25, maybe 30 miles per hour, closer to Lake Superior, and we'll also have some higher gusts in spots across the central and east as well, and some of those gusts could continue on into tomorrow morning. And then as we go into tomorrow afternoon, the winds do become lighter, but look for the winds tomorrow night to once again pick up the pace, and at times they could be gusting over 30 miles per hour through tomorrow night and on into Saturday morning. And then for Saturday afternoon, we do keep some gusty winds in the weather forecast. Temperatures 30s in the east, but as you can see, we're cooling off into the 20s in the west, 25 degrees in Ironwood. And as we look at our forecast for tonight, look for lows eventually around 20 or into the 20s. Some snow showers, but they shouldn't add up to much tonight, and we'll keep those gusty winds going. Northwest eventually 15 to 25 miles per hour, at times with some higher gusts, maybe over 30 miles per hour, especially near Lake Superior. There's your 7-day forecast. Some snow showers in the morning. I'm so excited to say this. Sunshine, though, by the afternoon hours for Friday. Highs around 30 or into the 30s. And then a little bit more sunshine for Saturday. Light rain or light snow. That's why I got the question mark there for Sunday. Then I think some better rain or snow chances as we go into Monday and Tuesday. We might cool down a little bit towards the Thanksgiving Day holiday next week. You can always get your latest weather forecast on our website at upmatters.com.
Okay, Tom, thank you. Up next on Local 3 News, a college student in the UP is going viral. Find out why when Local 3 News continues. A Finlandia University hockey player's social media segment teaches people how to pronounce Finnish words properly. Local 3's Brianna McLean met with the Finland native about how this whole thing came about.
What's up, guys? This is the first episode of Santeri Says.
This is Santeri Seppänen, and he is a Finnish native from Turku, Finland. So it only made sense to attend a school on the Upper Peninsula with a rich Finnish culture and, of course, a huge hockey background. The Finlandia men's hockey goalie has a growingly popular social media segment called Santeri Says, where he teaches people how to pronounce Finnish words that are popular to the area. The first post went up in September 2019, and since then, each video has a couple thousand views. In one segment, Seppänen visits Salmi restaurant in Houghton, where they serve one of their most popular Finnish dishes.
We're here at Suomi restaurant, and today's word is pannukakku, the Finnish pancake, as people say.
The sauna episode was even reposted on the Embassy of Finland in the US's Facebook page.
Well, sauna is one, because not everyone knows. A lot of people say sauna, but it's not. And just pretty much everything related to Finnish language, you know, they're hard words, so I don't give them a hard time about it. Today's word is a word that gets mispronounced a lot, especially by our team's Canadians. Take a hint. The word is sauna, not sauna or sauna, it's sauna.
So as a Youper from Sault Ste. Marie, I actually pronounce this word just like the Canadians, sauna. So I thought it'd be fun to go around Local 3 and see how people pronounce this word. Let's go see what they say.
Suna. That's not it. Don't use Suna. Sauna? Is that it? I should know this. This is embarrassing.
Wait.
Sauna. Sauna.
According to the Finns, anyways.
Oh boy. This is going to make a lot of my relatives angry.
So Isaiah, how do you say this word?
Sauna.
Jamie.
Yeah?
How do you pronounce this word?
It's sauna.
To find the full episodes of Santeri Says, you can visit our website, upmatters.com. Reporting for Local 3 News, I'm Brianna McLean.
Sports with Jake Durant is straight ahead tonight on Local 3 News. We'll hear from the Northern Michigan hockey team before their big series against rival Michigan Tech, next in sports. But first, a look at stocks of local interest and today's report on precious metals.
I say, you're crazy. He thinks he's better than me because he's from Chicago.
I think that's you can like him automatically.
He's like, just a little. He was just kidding, I think. Tomorrow night, the Northern Michigan and Michigan Tech hockey teams will take the ice for the
Now, Upper Peninsula Sports with Jake Durant from the Big Boy of Marquette Sports Desk.
Tomorrow night, the Northern Michigan and Michigan Tech hockey teams will take the ice for the 154th meeting between the two rivals. The Wildcats enter the two-game series ranked 19th in the nation, sitting at 7-3-2 and 5-1 in the WCHA. NMU does sit atop the conference standings. The last time the two teams met, NMU swept the Huskies in early March to conclude their regular season. It was the first weekend sweep for the Wildcats over the Huskies since October of 2005. Northern Michigan has been finding the back of the net consistently to start the season, but scoring won't come easy against the Huskies team that only gives up an average of about 2 goals per game.
They've won 3 of their last 4 games. They just swept a rival on the road. So they got a lot of things going the right direction for them. Their goaltending's been phenomenal. It doesn't matter which guys played for them. They've all got great numbers, and Drusic's played very well for them lately. You know, because they defend so well, there's going to be stretches where we're not going to get as much done offensively as we would hope. But you have to stay with it, and you just can't get frustrated. You just have to keep going back to it and going back to it and going back to it, and hope you find a little daylight there.
The puck drops for Game 1 Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern from McKinnis Student Ice Arena in Houghton. The teams will play each other Saturday night at the Barry Events Center in Marquette at 6 p.m. Eastern. For the 3rd year in a row, the Michigan Tech volleyball team will play in the GLIAC tournament semifinals. Last night, the Huskies took care of business and held serve on their home court, topping Grand Valley State 3-1. Tech came out focused, dominating the first 2 sets. Grand Valley would stay alive with a 25-20 third set win, but behind a strong performance by Macaulay Peterson, who finished the match with a team-high 20 kills. The Huskies put a run together in the 4th set and eventually went on to win that set 25-20 and the match. Here is Michigan Tech head coach Matt Jennings after the victory.
Feels great. That was a big win. Any playoff win is big. To come in, you know, a team we haven't seen in a while this season, since we played them the first time. I think they've improved quite a bit. They have a bunch of weapons that we saw here tonight that can score. I thought the first 2 sets were very, very well played on our end. We weren't pleased with the way we played in the 3rd. That was kind of maybe their last gasp, and it took about halfway through the 4th to get it back and secure and back under control. But those first 2 sets were really good, and maybe the best 2 sets we've played in a couple weeks now.
The Huskies will face Northern Michigan in the GLIAC semifinals this Saturday in Big Rapids.
Okay, Jake, thank you. Stay with us to find out what's coming up for Local 3 News at 11, and Tom will have another look at the weather.
Hey, check 1, 2, 3, check 1, 2.
New tonight at 11:10 Central, tips for how to be physically ready for winter chores like shoveling. And Health Watch, what kind of mental health training some people are getting to help their loved ones. Stay tuned for those stories and the rest of the evening news tonight on Local 3 News at 11:10 Central. Tom's here with one last look at the weather.
And temperatures turn colder as we go into tonight. Look for lows around 20 or into the 20s with some snow showers and gusty winds. Some snow showers may remain for the eastern UP on Friday morning. And then I think we're all back to at least some sunshine by Friday afternoon. A little chillier, highs around 30 or into the 30s. Some sun lingers on into Saturday, but we'll also have some gusty winds return tomorrow night on into Saturday morning.
Okay, all right, thanks for joining us. We'll be back at 11, but until then, have a good night.
Tonight,
how recycling is changing in one Upper Peninsula community, plus the rest of the day's news, weather, and sports.
Tonight on Local 3 News at 6. Tonight,
what you can do to be physically ready for winter chores like shoveling, and a performance of The Little Mermaid in the Upper Peninsula.
Tonight on Local 3 News at 11.
Tonight on Local 3 News, what new information has been released in an Upper Peninsula homicide investigation? That and more on Local 3 News at 11:10 Central. Federal action on marijuana tonight at 11. Tonight in Health Watch, special mental health training.
This is a Local 3 morning news break with weather first.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Tom Kippen. Some snow could hang on this morning in the east. Otherwise, we do get the sunshine back. Highs today around 30 or into the 30s. Tonight, dry with some clouds, but we do get some gusty winds. Lows tonight around 20 or into the 20s. Some sunshine once again for Saturday. Highs 30s to around 40. And then we do get a light rain or a light snow chance for Sunday. Find us online at upmatters.com or on our Local 3 Facebook page.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for Local 3 News. I'm Rebecca Bartlemy, and joining me this morning is Nancy Raley and Lance Whitfield. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah, and so we are talking about the restoration of a grand piano at the Kauffman Auditorium, and you could tell us a little bit about that, Lance, right?
Well, sure. The piano itself is a 1927 concert grand. It's a 9-foot grand, picked out by George Gershwin for L.G. Kauffman, and so the bottom line is we've had it all this time. In 1980, we had a partial restoration, but we've known for 5 to 7 years now that we were going to need to have a total restoration. And so that's what's in the works, and it's going to be roughly $48,000 to do that.
All right, and so you've already raised some money for it so far, right?
Absolutely. We have huge thank you to the Kauffman Foundation and to MAPS, who've had very large contributions for us. So we're very far along the way, but we are not quite there financially.
Alrighty, and so there is a concert to help with the cost, and that is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And Nancy, you can tell us a little bit about that.
This is a concert that features the piano, and it also features some of the finest pianists in Marquette. We're doing pieces by Beethoven, Chopin, Shostakovich. The Shostakovich pieces will be with dancers. Erica Wade is dancing, and violinist Connie Weiner is doing a beautiful Gershwin piece from Porgy and Bess. And then we're ending with Franz Liszt, Hungarian Rhapsody with Lynn Langshi, and Nancy Zimmerman is doing a gorgeous Mozart sonata.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Well,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and for more information, you can check out our website, upmatters.com, and tune to Local 3 News tonight at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock Central for more local news, weather, and sports. Good morning. Thanks for joining us for Local 3 News. I'm Rebecca Bartlemy, and joining me this morning is Nancy Raley and Lance Whitfield. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and so last hour we've been talking about the restoration of the grand piano at the Kauffman Auditorium. And so for people who kind of missed it last hour, can you give us a little history about the piano?
Sure. Well, the piano itself was manufactured in 1927, and shortly after that was ordered, was selected by George Gershwin for L.G. Kauffman, and then brought to Marquette here. There's two stories. One was that 2 pianos were actually purchased and brought to Granite Loma, and then one came over to Kauffman Auditorium after that. And the other story is just that it came directly to Kauffman. So it's roughly 94 years old. It has the original soundboard in it, which is going to have to be replaced. We had a partial restoration done in around 1980, and we've known for about 5 to 7 years that a full restoration was going to be needed. Looking at new pianos, this piano brand new would be over $140,000. And so it's not really even the prohibitiveness of the cost, but it's the fact this piano has a history with the auditorium. It has a history with the Kauffmans. It has and so we want this piano because of that. And so financially, so far, we would have to give a thank you to the Kauffman Foundation, because they have made a significant contribution already, and MAPS has also contributed substantially as well, and some of the Kauffman Auditorium accounts themselves. So we're well on the way, but we're not quite there. And that's where Nancy came in. Mm-hmm. I'll let you take over, Nancy.
When I heard about this restoration, I thought, wouldn't it be fun if some of us pianists here in Marquette gave a concert as a benefit to help raise funds? And that's what we're doing. Tomorrow night, 7:30, Kauffman Auditorium, tickets at the door. We are performing works of Chopin, Beethoven, Mozart, Shostakovich, at Gershwin, and Franz Liszt.
Lastly, the piano will be showcased in May, correct?
Perfect. Thank you for saying that. Yes, it's going the week after Thanksgiving. It's being shipped to New Jersey, where it's being restored by a company called Lindeblad Restorations, and it will be getting it back in late April. And then on May 28th, we are bringing in Alpen Hong, world internationally known pianist, who will christen the newly restored piano. So we're super excited about that. It's also going to be part of the Kaufman Lyceum series. So all of the MAPS kids are going to get to hear Alpen Hong perform for us, and so we're just really thrilled about that.
Definitely, very cool. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Well, it's a pleasure.
Thanks.
Yeah, and for more information, you can check out our website, upmatters.com, and tune to Local 3 News Night at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock Central for more local news, weather, and sports.